Hello, and welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington, USA. We are going to be working with Merriest Moments today, and I'll show you what we're going to be making shortly. But we'll get all the housekeeping out of the way first. Below in the description bar, you will find all the products I used, all the dimensions, so you can reproduce this. Also, you will find a link to my online store, my email, and my Facebook group. So please consider joining Facebook. Also remember to give me thumbs up and likes and shares in YouTube so I can grow the channel in the YouTube world. Before we get to the card though, from now until November 30th, I am running a special. You may remember this beautiful paper and the stamp set. This is a new stamp set. It's never been opened, not even put together. Paper's unopened as well. Everybody that places a $45 order of Stampin' Up!, that's without shipping or tax, and does it through my online store will be put into a drawing to win this set. So if you're still looking for this set and you want it, all you have to do is place a $45 order with Stampin' Up! Product on my online store, and you will be entered in a drawing to get this. This special goes until November 30th. And there shortly thereafter, we will draw the name and we will notify the lucky winner. And sometime in December, we will notify and let you know that that winner has been notified. So if you have any questions about this, you can send me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions. So it's $45 in my online store of Stampin' Up! Product will get you into the drawing for this set. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, you do have to be in the US. So sorry. So, let's get to the project, Merriest Moments. This is a beautiful stamp set. I actually did not get it last year. I got it this year. And I'm sorry about the glare. That's why we kept this over here. We'll move it back. And I was so happy when they brought it back. It's like, I love this set. And so, I'm going to show you what we're making. We are making, it's a tower card. Now, this will fit into a A7 card envelope, which is a 5x7, which I'm sure many of you have. So it's the larger size. I tried to make one into the smaller, and it just really didn't work too well for the design I wanted. But having a nice big card is sometimes nice, especially for the holidays. This card pops open like this. So I come up close, you can see the detail in that. There's two towers. There's a place to write on the back. And once it stands up like that, it is a beautiful card. And it says, "A joyful Christmas to you and yours." And on the back it says, "Season's greetings," and we have it stamped. So I think you should, I hope you give this a try. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you how to make this in detail. So this video may be a little longer than normal, but I think it's worth it. So first we're going to do is we're going to cut the centerpiece, which is using the hybrid die here. We're going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to get the dies out of my case. As you know, I keep my dies in my case. Now I wanted to show you, I have some copies here. If you haven't seen this, you can cut out, there's a die. This die pops into, make sure I get it lined up right. Oh, perfect try. This pops into your embossing folder like this. You can put your paper in, run it through, add a 3D setting because this is a 3D folder, and you will get this design. Now, I didn't want this design because I wanted the open design. And this is the one we're going to make today. But if you wanted the sealed design, you could do it in one pass. So I wanted to show you what that was. And so let me get this popped out of here. So we're not using this die. We are using this die. Now this die does not fit in here to do this. So you have to do it in 2 steps. But it's okay. It just takes a few minutes. So we've got this and we got this. Oh, I guess I should grab the supplies we need. This is part of them. We have some scrap paper to go. Oh yes, we are using as our focal point in this. This is called Glimmer, specialty paper. There is, don't usually bring the bag out. This is the bags I keep my paper in. There is gold, green, and an ivory, sparkly ivory color. So it's beautiful paper. And it's not just for Christmas. So I've already cut our gold back, so we can set that off to the side. And this is one we're going to be stamping on for our back. This is the piece we're going to be cutting. This is our envelope. And these are the two pieces to make the tower. And this is for our greeting, which we will be embossing. So I'm going to set those off to the side here. So they're out of our way, because this is the piece we need. And I'm going to put the pink ones out of the way as well, because I need to get the big boy out here today. And I've tried to move the camera, and it may seem that it's really close. I've tried to move the camera in a little bit because people were saying that it was a little too far away. So I tried to zoom in a little closer. And you do not need this piece of paper, but I have it because my plates are quite worn, and I want to protect my paper, and that's why I've got it. I've got black into here, and so, but you don't need that piece of paper. So first what we're going to do, you want to take and die cut, or you want to emboss your paper first before you die cut. If you do it in reverse, it's hard to line up, and I don't know, it works. Well, let's die cut it first. We're going to die cut. I'm going to show you this way. Sorry, I changed my mind in the middle. You can do it either way, but I think if you die cut first, it's better, because you don't squish your stuff, the embossing. It's early. I can't make up my mind this morning. So we have die cut this lovely thing here. I'm just pulling this out and popping out a few of the die cut pieces. It really, I can't even see anything that's stuck. It's really cleans it up really fast. So let's get this out of the way, and I've got to get a different plate. Sorry, I'm reaching for my garbage can that was a little ways around the room. Now I'm going to grab a different plate. On the Big Shot, you have to use a different plate for 3D embossing folders. So we have to do that. Follow the instructions on whatever machine you are using for your 3D. So now we're going to open up this, and I'm going to try to show you. You can actually see where it goes when you lay this in here. You see the lines here. You can see where the different things are. You know what would help? It's if I put my glasses on. If you've been watching for me for a while, you know I always forget to put the glasses on until I need to do something up close. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining this all up in here. Make sure that they're lined up. Put a top plate on. This out, and now it is all beautifully embossed. So let me get this out of our way. We have a little more die cutting, but we're going to do the other die cutting on the smaller machine, which is a little easier for all of us. There's just certain things you need the larger machine. So let me get this out of our way. Out of my way, I should say. Okay. Now that we've cut that, let's go ahead and, we're not doing stamping yet. I want to save all the stamping for one time, or as much as I can. So let's go ahead and work on the tower part of the card first. So there's 2 pieces of paper. This one is 9.5 by 5. And this piece is 5 by 4.5. We'll start with the long side first. And this one, we're only going to score it. Just one moment. I need a drink of coffee. So we are going to score it 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know that's real complicated. And then on this one, on the 4.5 inch side, make sure I get the right side, we're going to score it 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the reason we're doing this is because we don't have paper long enough to do it all at one piece. So, and that's the extent of scoring. We're going to go ahead and burnish this. If you guys see the little scratch here, we have new members of our household. We picked them up yesterday. We have 2 little kittens, little girls. One's black and white. They're sisters. They're, what, 7 weeks old? Good little kitties. We haven't named them yet. That's how new they are. We haven't decided on names. We want to see what they do first and look at their personalities. So, you can see this one folds over just like this. So anyhow, once I get a name for the kitties, I'll let you know. Anyhow, we're going to put on here. Glue on the one single flap. Fold 2 flaps down. There's got 2 flaps, and this will fold over. Give that a good rub. Oh, a little glue shot out. Got a little overzealous with the glue there. And then I like to bring it back and re-burnish that again. So there's one. This next one, we're going to put glue on the small 1/2 inch tab. Not going to do as much. Then you got the 2 tabs and bring over 2. Like I said, this is a very simple card to make. And if you're mass producing it, you could actually mass produce this pretty easily by breaking down all the pieces. So here's our back of our card. And this is the seam. And I want the seam to be in the back right here. So now we're going to put this here. So this is my piece with my seam right here. And I want the seam to be on the back. So I'm going to put glue on this piece. You could use tear and tape or Seal Plus. Seal might work, but I wanted to make sure it stays on. So then I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to line it up with the edge of this card here. And with glue, you get some wiggle room too. So you can move it around and make sure you got it all nice and square. And hold it for a second, give it a good rub. So there's the tower part of the card. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and glue our big gold piece in. I looked at using DSP on this, and the gold just screamed at me. And this gold piece is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Like I said, all the dimensions, if I forget to give you a dimension, it will be listed below. I am working on my new website right now. Slow going. I've never written one before, made one before. Someone out there wants to lend me a hand and tell me what I need to do. I would really appreciate that as well. I've never done something like this, and so I'm in a long learning curve. Been crafting a long time, but not videotaping or doing all the technical stuff. So we got the base of the card done, and the next piece is the green piece that's going to go on. If I can pick it up. So you have to decide which direction you want yours to go. Now, I've decided I want mine to go right about like that. And the best way, there's 2 ways to do this. You could use glue dots, or you could use glue. And I found that the glue worked a little better just because I had that ability to, move it slightly. So what you want to do is sort of look and see where, if you line this up on here, and I use these 2 here to sort of guide me. And I want to try to make sure I've got it straight. So I know that I can put glue on these branches out here to hold it. And so I'm going to start on one side only. And stick it to the parts I know are not going to be effective. If I get a little glue on the other, I can come back and put some of the embossing powder or regular powder on it. But just right on the ends. And then I'm going to lay this down and lay this one down. So I can sort of center this up in here. Pull it over just a hair, because you can see where the other one's going to land. That's why I say glue works really well, because, and if you go off just a little bit, it's fine, because you do have a little bit of room in your envelope. So then you can come back over here, and you're going to be hard to see me do this, but we're just going to tack down the pieces I know from looking at this, and right on the end of this ivy here. So you can sort of see where I stuck the glue on there. We're going to just hold that down. Push that up just a hair. Let it sit. Okay, so this needs to sit and dry. So I'm going to grab a nice big block, and I'm going to set it off to the side and just put a block on it and let it dry. Now it's time to do some stamping. So I have our envelope, and we're going to save the embossing for a bit. So we're going to concentrate on the back and the envelope first. And we're using cherry cobbler. I think it's cherry cobbler. Yeah, cherry cobbler and Evening Evergreen. Tell you one thing, when Evening Evergreen goes away, I'm going to miss it. There is 2 poinsettias in this set. There's a large and a littler one. We're going to use the larger one. Move him over here. And I'm going to, I want a stamping mat. We're going to do this twice. We're going to put it down, stamp once, rotate it, and stamp again. to get that look. Oh, we'll have to grab something else out of the thing. I forgot to grab the berries. There's the berries. And I'll put the berries right there in the center, like that. So next we need to do the leaves, and I'm using, there's 3 leaves, but we're using the large and the medium. I'm going to put the large one here, and then I'm going to use the medium ones like that. And then we're going to put the cherry cobbler right there and make some berries. I did a really poor job today getting stuff out. I didn't get the sayings out either. So I'm going to grab Season's Greetings and A Wonderful Joy. And grab me a couple more blocks. Like I said, I did not do a good job here lining stuff, getting stuff ready when I was getting ready to film. There's Season's Greetings, and there's the one we're going to do with the Versamark. And I'm going to do this in Evening Evergreen. I'm going a little towards the middle and top, so you have plenty of room to write on the back of your card. So there's that. And then on the envelope, I went very simple on the envelope, and I wrote Joy. Just like that. We are done with those. And we are done with the red ink. Now we're going to move on to Versamark. And before I start the Versamark, let me grab my Stampin' scrubber and clean the red ink and the green ink off of what we need. Because we are going to, you could use your pink one too. I mean, whichever you prefer. I have a pink one. I just prefer my old Scrap and Scrub. I don't need to really do that one now. We'll throw him back over there. But these 4, I'm going to show you how, I need a couple of them, but I'm going to show you how to emboss all these little items. So on the paper, I brought out some green paper and some red, probably more than I need. And we also have our saying here. We are going to go ahead and stamp them all with Versamark, and then we're going to grab the embossing powder. And before I get started, we'll grab the embossing buddy, our little powder bag. Actually, I think I can get away with this one piece and do them all at one time. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment. We're going to do the poinsettias first. So we're doing one of the small ones. We're doing it right onto the red. Large one. Then we're going to do 2 leaves. That. And our saying is going to go right in the middle here. I know you can't see it there, but it is marked. I have gold embossing powder. Just lift those over there. If you have the tray, please use the tray. I'm old school and I go for paper. And I'm just going to move all of these onto the paper here. And start sprinkling a little embossing powder. And I missed a little spot there. That's the other thing, is if you're doing lots of pieces, you can move the embossing powder. So far, so good. And I think we'll put a little more on a verse because I want to make sure that it really did get good and covered. Oh, that looks good. And then I just set this in my garbage can like that. And I can use it again if I'm going to emboss something else. And we'll grab my heat gun real quick here. And I know it's a little loud, so I'm going to grab my tool to hold it. Whoa. You need to watch it because once it starts going, it goes pretty quickly, and you do not want to overheat it because it will actually sort of evaporates almost in some areas, especially if it's writing. So we have our pieces that are all embossed, and now we're going to die cut them. So I grabbed Little Cranky. I'm really bad, you know. Grab the other one. I forgot to grab the square we need. Like I said, I'm having one of those days. I keep on forgetting to get the things we need. So I'll put Little Cranky in. Because this square fits perfectly inside the square on the card. Here is the beautiful square for inside of our card. Or the front, I should say. The front inside. That doesn't make sense, Lori. So then we have our little leaves. And there's dies to cut them all out. Whoop. I think that's pretty dead. So was that. And I left these spaced out enough that I can put them both into position at the same time. Got it too straight. I like it to be straight, and the machine likes to be very crooked at the end. Here's one of them. Really quite beautiful. I'll show you on the bigger one. You can actually see the detail from the stamping in there, which makes it really nice. And then we have 2 poinsettias to cut out. Well, let's see if I can line these up. There we go. Doesn't take long to figure out how to line it up. And this one here. That's definitely not it. I think it's this. Okay. It's this way. Nope. There we go. Sorry. They just don't always line up with the way you want them, you think. Make sure they didn't move on me. And once again, I'm too straight. Sorry, I got too much paper here and it's not going to take it. We're going to do one at a time because I'm having a problem this morning. Just having one of those mornings. Sorry. And like I've told you, I don't edit my videos, so when I'm having a bad morning, things go wrong, you get to see it. I'm really not having a bad morning. I'm crafting. When I'm crafting, I don't have bad mornings. Just fun things happen. And there is our beautiful poinsettia, one of them. And we'll do the last one here. I know, gotta find which way it goes again. There we go. Sorry it took so long to get this done. Okay. Let me get rid of this and let's get assembling the card. So let's bring all of our pieces back in. Just like this. It's all nice and dry now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the back on. put this on. Now we are going to use a couple dimensionals, but we're not using them on this. You could. And this goes right in the center of this. Like that. Now, I did pre-cut a few pieces, so you didn't have to watch me do them all. So, we're going to do a little assembly here. So first we're going to take a large, which I have, and a small. I got a couple extra too. So you're going to take a large poinsettia and a small poinsettia. And I sort of just put them in, actually put them in my finger like this. Just popped them up just slightly, not a lot. And I'm going to use glue dots on this. You could use glue. You need to stay off of the embossing powder when you do, though. But a glue dot right in the center, and I'm offsetting these. So it comes in like that. We're going to do 2 of those. Like I said, I'm just using my thumb and putting it in the palm of my hand. I think I like this one better. And another dimensional blue dot. And off center that. Now, out of the Glimmer paper, that beautiful Glimmer paper, I cut out some little centers for the poinsettias. I'm using a glue dot right in the center of it. Like that. And another one for the other one. There we go. There's those 2. Now we need, we're going to put some leaves on these, but we're not going to put them on until we put the poinsettia onto the box. But we do need to make the other one. So this one I took 2 large and a medium size. There's some small ones too. They're right here. But we will do that in a minute. And once again, I'm just using a glue dot. And we're just going to marry ends of those 2 together like that. And then we're going to put the other one. I'm going to put it on the emboss side this time because I'm going to actually, my fingernail polish is stuck. Sorry, I got stuck to the glue dot. They're very strong. Just like that. And then we're going to take one more. And like I said, I made a bunch of holly berries. Oh, this one looks good. They all look good. It's just, let me grab another dimension. I don't know why I'm calling dimensionals this morning. Glue dot. And I'm going to put our berries right in the center. Okay. So time to start installing this. Now we'll get the dimensionals. Been wanting to use dimensionals all morning. We're going to put a dimensional in there. We're going to put a dimensional on this one. And dimensional on that one. So now I'm going to fold this down, and the first one's going to go in this corner here. And this one, and make sure you're on the card, not on the underneath where the Glimmer paper is. this one. Goes down in this corner. Now we're going to take a couple more, probably the medium, not the large. I might use one large. And we're going to put these up in here underneath. I wanted to see where it lied before I stuck them in. So we're going to use some glue dots and put them on the front of the embossing. And then you just come up underneath here and place these where you want them. And we'll take come on. And I think we'll put this one right around here. Like that. And we need a couple more. You can see why I said putting this on after you put them on. That way you make sure you're inside the frame. And you also see where you want them. Better go with a small one. My dots are being difficult today. They want to keep on sticking to me. I'll put this one up towards the top. Like that. I think that's enough of those. And then there is a bow. As soon as I find the bow, well, I did make a bow. I may have to make another one. It grew legs on me. Come on, tell. Oh, there it is. It fell on the floor. This is out of the, what's it called? Satin-Edged ribbon. Sort of an ivory and white, or ivory and gold. Went really well because this is ivory. It's not white. And I made a little bow. We're going to put a little glue dot on it. Or two. And we'll put that right here in the corner. And then we'll grab some scissors here, little snips. I like long trailers and big bows, but this one needed a smaller bow. I did not add any rhinestones or anything to it. You could if you wanted. I think it doesn't really need it. I think it's a beautiful card, very shiny and sparkly. And this is what the back of the card looks like. So you can see both together. And then of course our envelopes just say joy, and like I said, this fits, you have room in here. It's not quite a 5x7 card, but it's bigger than a standard card, but it is beautiful. Like I said, if you want to mass produce this, you just sit and make a bunch of all the flowers, all the leaves, and do all the pieces and then start assembling, and it goes quick once you get going. So anyhow, please think about giving it a try. Don't forget about my special going on through the end of the month. And you could possibly win a stamp set and pack of paper. And thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you next time. Remember to subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. And don't forget about my Facebook group. And I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much and have a good day.